I need to point this out real quick. This is number 2 on trending on YouTube. We're not talking about number 2 trending on gaming or entertainment. We're talking about straight up number 2 on the entire platform on YouTube site. This trailer for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is that anticipated. How many people are legitimately excited about this news? I mean, hell, look at this. The trailer has only been up for 7 hours, and it has 2 million views already. That's not including probably views that's just yet to tally over, because it takes a while for YouTube to update the view count. So, it just goes to show how anticipated JoJo is, how popular it is to the culture of anime and manga, but also, Part 7 is easily one of the most enjoyable parts of the entire series. More into that in a moment. But anyways, this PV trailer came out, and I want to be honest with you, today is a great day. It's a good day, it's a great day. I did not expect to wake up on April 2025 and have a late birthday gift such as this, basically, you know, showcasing the actual announcement of JoJo Part 7. We actually got a key visual, full-blown, announcing this, and I'm not gonna lie, man, this makes me so freaking happy, because I was a little bit worried that it might take a while to probably get Part 7, and I mean, technically it has been a little bit, but the reason why I thought that was because of just the disaster that was Part 6. Now, I'm not saying that Part 6 is bad, once again, I'll talk about that in a moment as well, but I was a little bit concerned because of just the reception that Part 6 got, that I didn't know if we would potentially get another part, or if it would take a lot longer maybe to get a Part 7, but here we are. Finally got announced, and I'm just, yeah, this is great news. So, let's dive into all the information we currently know. So, at this time, everything that came out, basically, we have a key visual. We have the announcement, obviously, that the anime is coming and all that, but besides that, we don't really have an actual announcement for when it's going to air. For instance, this trailer, from my knowledge, and you can see here, usually they show it at the end here, there is no announcement of when this is set to air, which means that this is very early in production, or it's really just getting underway. If I had to take an educated guess, normally how these announcements work for anime, as someone that's seen so many announcements, hundreds upon hundreds of announcements, at the earliest this will air is going to be fall, but I very, very much doubt that it's going to air this fall. I really doubt that. I am pretty much certain that it's not going to air this year. So, I would have to say, most likely, sometime around spring or summer of 2026 is when most likely we will see JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 7, or, you know, still Ball Run, actually get adapted into an anime. So it's going to be about probably almost a year until we see this actually adapted. Now, it might take a lot longer, who really knows, but the point is the fact that we don't have a release date means that we shouldn't expect this to come out probably this year. Now, with that being said, though, we can only assume, I don't know if it's also been confirmed anywhere, I don't see a studio confirmation, but my educated guess is that it's going to be, once again, David Productions, the same studio that's worked on JoJo since basically JoJo Part 1 and 2, so I'm not really concerned that we're going to have a studio shift or anything like that. However, there is something that does need to be talked about, and that is the presence of Netflix, which I talked about, you know, how Part 6, the reception of it was a little bit negative. This is what I'm about to get into. Let's segue into that, because I think it's very important to discuss, because this is something that a lot of people probably have a problem with when it comes to JoJo Part 6. So if you don't remember, let me remind you. Part 6 of JoJo released on Netflix in bulk batches, and I think anyone that has experienced JoJo's Bizarre Adventure since, like, it started airing with Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, Part 4, you get the point. You know that Part 6, the way Part 6 was handled in terms of adaptation, or not adaptation, in release, it straight up killed any form of conversation around the media. It killed the anticipation for it, and it also, I think, did a lot of damage to the anime, because I feel like a lot of people, truthfully, has not even watched Part 6 of JoJo, and I feel like a lot of people diving into Part 7 or Still Ball Run is going to be probably extremely confused, because I know a lot of people to this day is still finding out that Part 6 was straight up adapted into an anime. I know, that's crazy, but it's the truth, and it goes to show the inherent problem that I'm going to talk about. Netflix. So, I've said and went on record, I have no problem with Netflix diving into anime and trying to release stuff. They're direct competition to Crunchyroll. I think that's completely fine. Crunchyroll does need competition. However, my biggest gripe I've always had with Netflix, and I have literally talked about this for almost a decade at this point. You can literally go back and look at my multiple videos discussing Netflix. But Netflix has always had an inherent problem. When they get an anime, they either lock it in like Netflix jail, and you can't watch it until, like, the anime's fully finished airing in Japan, and so most likely those that typically watch anime, they're not going to wait for official translations from Netflix. They're just going to watch it, on pirate sites. That's what will happen. That's what I would do. I'm just going to be completely blunt. And so when the series finally does come to, let's say, the West, or Netflix has it, most people have already watched it. Those that are going to watch it have already watched it. Or in general, what it does is it kills conversation around the series, because people have to go to these pirate sites to watch it, and any dialogue really is kind of very small in comparison to what it could actually be. And so the series getting relatively discussed or popular pretty much just dwindles to non-existent status. And we definitely saw that with Part 6. Part 6 came out, and it came out in bulk batches. For instance, Netflix, they released pieces of JoJo Part 6. I believe they had it in 2 different batches, if I remember correctly, but they released it in one batch, and then you had to wait, almost a year to get the second batch of JoJo Part 6. And the conversation around the series died within a day, because they released so many episodes at once. The people that watch it couldn't individually talk about individual episodes, but when they did watch it, they had to wait for a while just to get the next batch, and then when they watched it, they just went on with their lives and did the next show they wanted to watch, for instance, binging on to a new series, a new anime. And I feel like, in general, that really hurt JoJo, because for a very long time, JoJo was known for JoJo Fridays. It's an iconic meme. Anyone that has been in the JoJo anime community for decades, basically, knows about JoJo Fridays. People have made so many memes about it. And the fact that you couldn't do that with Part 6, I think also, as much as people might want to say I'm over-exaggerating, it did hurt JoJo. It really hurt the reception of it, and a lot of people just did not watch it because of that, which is sad. It's really sad, because Part 6 is it's a conclusion. It's a ribbon on top, so to speak, of a long journey of the previous parts of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. So I'm sad about that. It makes me very sad to see the damage that Netflix theoretically caused to the brand. However, I'm not saying the anime was bad. I want to make sure I clarify that. I'm just saying the way Netflix released it really damaged it. And a lot of people were, let's be honest, legitimately upset with how it was done. So with Part 7, that segues into the news we got today. I really hope that David Productions, when they're working on this, I really hope they don't give this over to Netflix. And if they do, please Netflix, don't release this in bulk batches. Do not release this with 8 to 12 episodes dropping at once. Straight up, release this by a weekly format, like a typical anime, and I tell you, people will love it. I mean, do what Dawn to Dawn did. We know they can do it. Look at Dawn to Dawn. So we know Netflix is capable of releasing shows in an episodic way, week by week. The question is, will they do that with JoJo? Who really knows? But yeah, I want to talk about this because this was big news that came out today. The fact that it is number 2 on trending says a lot for the anticipation. I just hope that, besides just David Production cooking, we know they're going to cook. Just Netflix, please don't drop the ball with this one. Please don't. This is one of the best parts of JoJo. It is a nice, transition into a new era of the series. I just really do hope that everything works for it and not against it, so to speak. But I wanted to leave it at that. I wanted to talk about this because this news is incredible. I'm very happy, but I am skeptical about the release in the West. But besides that, yeah, I mean, it's a good day to be a JoJo fan. I love you guys. Be safe. Stay healthy. Chibi out.